God is our Father, our Mother too. God is our dearest treasure. God's ever near, the one friend who loves us without any measure. God is dreams, our love was made. Only from Him is love repaid. Let us in gladness all live for Him, serve Him in every season, serve Him with thought, with hand and limb, love Him without any reason. God befriends us as we are, fools we that hold His love afar. God is our Father, our Mother too. God is our dearest treasure. God's ever near, the one friend who loves us without any measure. Of His dreams our love was made. Only from Him is love repaid. Let us in gladness all live for Him, serve Him in every season, serve Him with thought, with hand and limb, love Him without any reason. God befriends us as we are, fools we that hold His love afar. God befriends us as we are, fools we that hold His love afar. Form of Kali. Transform our ego consciousness into love consciousness.
Sorry, guys.
Just mute the TV.
Very beautiful words. Om Kali, Japa, calling in Divine Mother as Kali. Free us from ego consciousness. Help us to live in right action, in divine communion. Om Kali, 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 Om Kali,
We'll take this next chant, Blue Lotus Feet by Paramahansa Yogananda, into our meditation practice. Sitting upright. We'll double inhale through the nose, tense, and exhale through the mouth 3 times together, drawing in that cosmic energy. Let's begin inhaling. Tense, tighten all the muscles, vibrate, and exhale. Inhale. Drawing all that energy, feeling every alive cell in your body, and exhale. One more time. Tense, vibrate, and let go. Beautiful. Drawing the shoulders up, rolling them down the back, opening up your beautiful, grateful heart. Palms are upright. Feel the energy moving in from the medulla oblongata to the spiritual eye. Watching the natural breath. Feeling that point of concentration strong and steady. You notice your next natural breath. Hong on the inhale. Saw on the exhale. From ancient India, Babaji Krishna, Baby Kriya. I am spirit. Hong on the inhale. Saw on the exhale. Enjoy the natural pauses, and together we'll meditate for 5 minutes.
Remaining in a meditative state, please listen to this week's affirmation for self-healing. Service. Service is ennobling. It is a way of offering our human littleness into the great reality that is God. Service should not be given with the thought that one is serving people merely. It should be given with an inward consciousness to the Lord who resides in all creatures. When we serve others in this spirit, we find our own spirits becoming freed from egotism. Peace then fills us in the realization that there isn't anyone with whom we need compete. What joy to think that we belong to God. I'm going to read the affirmation once through and then we'll practice it together. I will serve God through others, and by my service to Him, release the hold the ego has on me. I am free in God I am free. So our first repetition in a wakeful voice. I will serve God through others.
I will serve God through others.
And by my service to Him,
By my service to Him,
release the hold the ego has on me.
release the hold the ego has on me.
I am free in God.
I am free in God.
In God I am free.
In God I am free.
Now in a conversational tone, I will serve God through others.
I will serve God through others.
And by my service to Him,
And by my service to Him,
release the hold the ego has on me.
release the hold the ego has on me.
I am free in God.
Free in God.
In God I am free.
In God I am free.
Now in a whisper, taking it more deeply inward, I will serve God through others. And by my service to Him, release the hold the ego has on me. I am free in God. In God I am free. And this time silently, taking the affirmation into the subconscious. I will serve God through others. And by my service to Him, release the hold the ego has on me. I am free in God. In God I am free. One final time, sitting up straight with the attention held at the point between the two eyebrows. Silently affirming, I will serve God through others. And by my service to Him, release the hold the ego has on me. I am free in God. In God I am free. I am free in God. In God I am free. The prayer, all that I do, Lord, I do for love of Thee. Accept the flowers of my service to Thee as I place them on Thy altar of omnipresence.
Now we'll have our reading from Rays of the One Light.
Rays of the One Light, weekly commentary on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyananda. Week 19, the secret of right action. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. One of the most famous stories in the gospel is that of Martha and Mary. Jesus, visiting the home of Martha, was teaching while her sister Mary sat at his feet, absorbing his divine love and wisdom. Martha, meanwhile, busied herself with serving her guests and was upset with Mary for not helping her. Lord, she cried, Doesn't it matter to you that my sister has left me to do all this serving alone? Please ask her to help me. Martha, Martha, Jesus answered, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. This story is classic, for Martha's complaint is very understandable and not, on the surface of it, spiritually wrong. Jesus may well have told Mary to get up and help her. We don't really know that he didn't, considerate as he always was of others' needs. But the teaching here doesn't concern the obvious dilemma of devotees, to work for God or to spend all one's time in prayer. It concerns, rather, the attitude of the mind. Jesus didn't tell Martha, Martha, you are doing too much. He told her, rather, you are letting your work affect your inner peace. That was the contrast, not work versus contemplation, but restless preoccupation versus peaceful absorption under all circumstances. As it says in the Bhagavad Gita, the 2nd chapter, actions performed under the influence of desire are greatly inferior to those which are guided by wisdom. Happiness eludes people when they act from self-interest. Seek shelter, therefore, in the equanimity of wisdom. Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind.
Beautiful. Thank you, Anastra. So I'd like to share this poem from Whispers from Eternity. And this was a poem, The Lost Two Black Eyes, written after my mother's death. Paramahansa Yogananda, after his mom passed away, he wrote this beautiful poem to her and for her and to Divine Mother. Divine Mother's countless black eyes pervaded all space and gazed at me from all hearts. They lurked at the cores of all planets and shone with supportive love from all stars. Within and outside of everything, those two dark eyes gazed at me tenderly everywhere. Ever seeking my departed mother, I found the deathless mother of the universe. What I had lost in my earthly mother's death, I'd found again forever in my cosmic mother. My human mother's dear lost black eyes, I found smiling at me tenderly from the heart of all space and at the soundless center of all atoms. And I asked my Divine Mother, oh, how cruelly, carelessly, without warning, didst thou strip away the diamond of my mother's love from the heart and the ring of my heart? Why, Mother, how couldst thou have hurt me so? And the cloud voice of my Divine Mother then spoke, thrilling my inner firmament. Many times have I fed thee with milk from the breasts of many mothers. This time the loving black eyes of your mother, though lost for a little while, were no one else but I, my very self. And when I saw that wisdom and thy cosmic love had lost their way in the jungle of those two dark eyes, I set fire to that alluring darkness. I stole from thee those two imprisoned black eyes to free thee, that thou mightest seek their essence in my eyes, and mightest find that essence then in the soulful eyes of all earthly mothers. Behold, the eyes of all are but dim suggestions of my eyes. I broke the dream-made finite mother form of mine, and thou mightest behold me, thy infinite mother, in the form of every soulful woman in my own shining cosmic form. So once upon a time, there was a beautiful little child, a little soul, and this soul was ready to be born. This soul knew it was coming into this human earthly experience. And one day, this beautiful little being asked God, they tell me you're going to send me to earth tomorrow, but how am I going to live there? I'm so small and helpless. And God replied, among the many angels I have chosen for you, she will be waiting to take care of you. But here in heaven, I love to sing and dance and smile and be happy. Your angel will sing to you every day, and you will feel your angel's love, and you'll be so, so happy. How am I going to understand people when I don't even speak the language? Easy. Your angel will tell you the most beautiful, sweet words with such love and kind and patience. And when I want to talk to you, God, your angel will teach you how to pray. Earth seems very scary. Who will protect me? Your angel will protect you at all costs, said God. But I'll be so sad when I can't see you anymore, God. Your angel will always talk to you about me and will teach you the way to come back home to me, and I will always be next to you. And at that moment, there was such peace in this beautiful soul. But at the same time, the child could feel that the earth was calling them back in a hurry, back to the human experience. Oh God, if I'm going to leave now, please tell me my angel's name. And God replied, your angel's name is not important. You'll simply call her Mother. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. God, as Divine Mother, watches over all human children, says Yogananda, peeping through the caring hearts of all true mothers. God's unconditional mercy is expressed in the mother's instinctive love and forgiveness, no matter what her child has done, shows us that God and Divine Mother will ultimately forgive the wrong actions of all of us human beings. That is why I like to relate as God as the Divine Mother, waiting to forgive all and take them back after their free will wanderings on the error-shown pathways of incarnations. For Mother's Day, honor every motherly heart. Be a channel of Divine Mother, giving unconditional love to all. Yogananda loved Mother's Day so much. Every year he just celebrated every Divine Mother and every being. And at the blessing, he would give everybody a rose. So last month, I received a very beautiful gift from my mother, who has recently passed away. I was with my friend Meredith, who is doing a personal training with me. And I was very sweaty, but I still decided to go to Trader Joe's, even though I was looking pretty bad. But I went to Trader Joe's, and in my heart, I could feel like that's my mom, and I would do that on Mondays, and I could feel my heart missing her. And as I walked into Trader Joe's, you know, I got all flowers because that's what we would do too, and get all the flowers there. And I just noticed as I was walking that there was a man and a woman coming towards me, and they were going against the traffic. And I just said, what a beautiful older woman. You know, she just had this like beautiful long gray hair and just was just lovely. She emanated light. And I walked by, and after a few minutes, the woman approached me, and she put her hand on my shoulder, and she took both my hands and said to me, you are so beautiful. God loves you so much. And I was just like, oh my God, my heart opened up, and I just started walking through Trader Joe's, and I just felt like, oh my God, this is my mother. My mother found a channel to talk to me through. My mother found this beautiful being to help, to tell me that she's okay. And because only a mother would tell me I was looking beautiful at that moment, you know? And so then I said, God bless you. And she said, God bless you. And I walked away, and I just had this beautiful, it was open heart, but I was like, oh, you know, maybe I should just leave. But I just kept walking a little bit. And then my ego started to say things, started saying, well, maybe she had Alzheimer's too. Maybe this wasn't really real, right? Right? 2 minutes later, another woman approaches me, and she has this tray of lemon cookies. And my mother loved, top of her list, God, and then second was lemon cookies, right? And she loved them. And this woman said, we just got these lemon cookies in, and I just thought I'd bring a tray around. Would you like to try one? And I took that bite of that lemon cookie, and I heard my mom say, don't doubt, I am with you. And in that moment, I truly knew, I knew the first time too, but it was really nice to get the second validation. And my heart just burst open, and I just cried probably for the next 24 hours. Just went to my bed and cried, sat in my living room, cried, sat outside and cried. And I just felt like my mom was helping me, because, you know, we're talking about the secret of right action today too. It's like when emotions clog us up, we're coming from that energy can take over the chakras, and it can block us from really having true joy. And I felt like my mom was saying, don't hold that grief, Kelly, you can move that out. And I just allowed it to move through. And this Mother's Day, I do feel light and free, vulnerable, but light and free. And that I'm very grateful for that lesson that I got. And you know, this right action it can be blocked by the stuck emotions. And so I just felt like she was really showing me that lesson in this teaching today too. And that's the beauty of doing Sunday service. We're always getting opportunities to grow into the teaching of that week. And this Mother's Day week, Shri Yukteswar's birthday, a beautiful time of year to really celebrate the wisdom and that balance we all can have between the loving masculine and feminine within us all. And that beautiful synchronies that I've experienced throughout this week, I want to share with you. And as we look at the story of Martha and Mary, I want to tell you about on Mother's Day Eve, I had this really great dream. I was dreaming, and Jaya and Sadhana Devi, Naya Swamis that you may know, and they've come here and taught, and they live in Ananda village, and Jaya and Sadhana were a big part of Ananda, Rhode Island in the very beginning, and really love us and support us. And we were in Israel on a pilgrimage, and people started to need our help. And so we started to give more and more service, and we were like finding bedding and food, and we were bringing it to the needy and finding people who could donate. And we were really, really all busy. And there were other people there too, but I just remember the three of us, and we were sitting down at the end of the day, exhausted, and Sadhana Devi said, I would love a ginger ale. And I was like, well, you know what, I'll run to the store and get one, you know. That's not what you do in Israel, but I went to the store, and no one had ginger ale. And I kept going to the store, but as I was going further away from this little ashram we created, I could feel myself leaving. I could feel that, you know, oh, that looks good. Oh, let me go shop for a while. Oh, I'll go dancing, I'll go play. And like all these desires started to come through me. And I was like, oh, let me explore that. What about, you know, I no even concern for Sadhana Devi and a ginger ale, you know, I was just in this world and all these outer experiences. And it came to me like, wow, nothing's doing it for me. I had to keep moving to one thing, and one thing. And so I returned back to them, no ginger ale, but a whole new awareness of desires, of how we have to move through our desires in life. But there's nothing really lasting. There's no lasting love or purpose, or there's nothing going to satisfy our hearts. Only God will do that. And it was just a beautiful understanding that I felt when at the end of the dream, as I returned to Jaya and Sadhana Devi. And, you know, we are all on this Martha and Mary bridge, right? Martha, right? You're nervous, you're anxious, you know, she's in fear, and Mary's in faith. There's a restlessness in Martha, and then we're bridging to God-centeredness, right? And sometimes we're here, sometimes we fall back, but we're all on this beautiful rainbow bridge of self-realization, right? And so anxious preoccupation of Martha, and then we move more and more through our meditation, through our practices, through holy service, into that experience of peaceful absorption under all circumstances. What a gift, right? This is the bridge that we're all on in this human experience. And both the outer service, as Martha did, and both Mary's inner communion are both paths to God, beautiful paths to God. But Jesus was not scolding Martha for her service. He was just saying that Mary's is the only way. We have to be able to be in the consciousness of God. That Mary's way was serving God with an open heart by just being with God, but also when we come into right action, we're serving God with our open heart. It's a very different way than doing it from whether there's resentments or fears or angers or repressed emotions, right? Yoga is the neutralization of emotions. So that's where we're moving through. We're neutralizing those emotions, and we're all coming back to that side of the bridge with Mary as we open our hearts and serve in that way. We begin to really have real, true forward momentum, and we really have like that meaningful progression on our path to self-realization. And when we stay in an aspect of God, maybe we can serve with joy or light in our hearts. We can serve by channeling wisdom as Sri Yukteswar, peacefulness, loving kindness, and calmness. That's how we bridge our life to Mary's example. And we're all on that bridge, and we're all moving forward. And sometimes when I get discouraged, I'm like, nope, but I'm still on that bridge, and I can still keep making choices that bring me to the other side. And so a beautiful experience so many of us experienced was when Swami Aditya was here 2 weeks ago, and we were so blessed with his joyful service and his kindness and his Indian bob, and he just, all of it, he just had so much enthusiasm and beauty and kindness. And I just feel like we were so blessed by the togetherness with being with our Guru Bhais, and I felt so uplifted. And I felt so grateful to serve. You know, we had a culinary team, and we made beautiful food, and Kyle got Indian food that was amazing, and Nastra made some great, everyone helped in every different way. But, you know, I did feel this sense of calmness that maybe cooking things in the past didn't have it. I was like, I'm just going to be in this. Feels good, you know. And Saturday was the big day for lunch, and I had like 8 casserole dishes in my oven, and I put 1 eggplant down on the bottom of the stove, and I was just waiting, you know, sitting and just meditating a little bit, oming the stove for all the happiness, for all the people to eat, you know, sending good vibes into it. And then I was like, I could hear this inner voice say, through the calmness, because when we're calm, we can hear it like, something's going to happen, but you can still stay calm. And I was like, okay. So then I took the eggplant out, the one that was really hot on the bottom. I put it on my counter because it was cold. It smashed into 1,000 eggplant pieces in glass all over the kitchen, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God everything else was in the oven. The dogs were outside. I was like, oh, okay. So I calmly just put you know, dustpan, got it up, you know, put everything back in the car. And he was running late that day, and it was perfect timing. And it was like, wow, that power of calmness, you know, that how when Mary, you know, I truly can understand, we can all understand that Martha had a difficult time. I mean, to be anxious, to be serving Jesus, I may not be able to hold that calmness, you know, but felt very blessed to feel so divinely guided that day in calmness. So sometimes we think like we have to be thinking about God the whole time in our mind, but it might be more embodying the qualities, one of the 8 aspects of God, that when we're working, when we're playing, when we're connecting, when we're being with each other. So there's so many synchronicities that kept happening. So that there was the AY book club that we did, and it was so beautiful. And it was on, you know, preparing for the right attitude. I was trying to prepare in that right way. And the blissful devotee and his cosmic romance was the sweetest Divine Mother story. And we were so happy. It was such a beautiful group. And we talked about how Mukunda had been missing his mother, and he wanted to visit Master Mahashaya, but Master Mahashaya lived in the home that Yogananda lived in with his mother. And so it really triggered him. It really brought his heart to feeling his mother and the pain of the loss. And so when he walked in, he saw that Master was in divine communion with the Divine Mother, and just he was so blissfully devoted. And Yogananda said, the bitter separateness of my mother's death, I had thought the measure of all anguish. Now in agony of separation from my Divine Mother was an indescribable torture of the spirit. Please, Holy Sir, intervene for me in the form of my Divine Mother. And Master Mahashaya did exactly that and prayed to Divine Mother to help Mukunda to reconnect with his beautiful Divine Mother. And Yogananda was sure this was going to happen. He returned home and went right to his meditation attic to pray and meditate. And Divine Mother appeared to him, this beautiful, beautiful Divine Mother, and just smiled so tenderly at him. And she said, "Always have I loved thee, ever shall I love thee." Just everything his heart wanted to feel, just opened his heart with such love and trust and beauty. And when he went back to Mahashaya, Master Mahashaya knew of his true devotion in that heart energy that we have to really have to take a step on the spiritual path, that he said, Divine Mother would never fail to answer your forsaken cry, my son. And that's how Divine Mother feels about all of us. We can call to her, "Come to me, I need you." She'll always be there. And then the Tuesday noon meditation we had, and we're working on the friendship with God, and the quality of the week, of course, was love, Divine Mother love as an aspect of God. And we looked at some of the blocks to the Anahata chakra, and Yogananda talked about the subconscious reactive process and how Martha's fear blocked her capacity to stay in love. So her right action means that we're able to integrate the feelings that can block the love and service through joy or love. So he talks about clearing our channel of negative emotion that fuels the ego, and how the energy fuels the action of behavior, and we can bring our energy up to a whole new level to transform that. So we worked with some exercises. We did the circular diaphragmatic breath, and Swami said if you observe many adults, they have very shallow breaths. They evacuate because of fear, and they live in this fight or flight breath, and then keeps people in a fearful state. To break the habit of fear, take this exercise by placing the hands on the abdomen, filling the belly as you exhale. Feel the abdomen, and then relax down as the air moves into the heart. And it's this beautiful connected diaphragmatic breath that we practice together. And it's a beautiful way that we can bridge reactivity to responsiveness, right? Martha was in reactivity and Mary was in open responsiveness. And by integrating feelings, keeping that connected diaphragmatic breath, we're able to transmute that. And it was so fun because, we did the Kali chant and we talked all about it. But then the most amazing thing happened. Anastra turned into Kali right before my eyes. We walked out of the temple, my little studio, and there by the pond, this big frog was locked in the jaws of a snake. And Anastra looked at it and her heart burst open and she said, "No, that's not going to happen." And she went down, she separated the frog out of the snake's mouth, swept the frog, and gently placed it on the other side of the pond. Yes, that is true. I thought that sincere desire to save that frog, frog's a symbol of happiness, right? And I was just like, wow, what alchemy, this is beautiful. I just got to see Kali, right in front of my beautiful eyes. And then Kyle and I did the Saturday morning class. It's a beautiful class. Some of you are in it, but we're working on the book through the Raja Yoga and looking at self-realization and the essence of how to use meditation and philosophy and how to live yoga. And so we talked about that dynamic energy to free the subconscious reactive process, and how Martha had to change her attitude of the mind, said Jesus. We talked about the need to release energy that has been in a holding pattern as it keeps our old habits intact. And that when this inner supply of energy that we can take in from the medulla oblongata into the spiritual eye and draw that energy in and send it out, what happens is we become these human batteries. This cosmic energy can flow through us. and it keeps, when this supply of energy is tapped into, it's also supplemented by the universal cosmic energy. And this is the key to human greatness, to draw on that energy that's always available. So if Martha had drawn on that energy, then she would have had this unlimited supply of energy, joy, and well-being to serve. So more and more we can tap into this that's always available to us when we're feeling tired or exhausted. We have the beautiful energization exercises to just bring ourselves back into that energy that's always there. There's abundance always waiting for us. We just have to tap into it. And so one more story about how, Yogananda said, desirously, we should serve God with love and enthusiasm. And he tells this beautiful story that I told at the class, where he received a lifelong blessing of tireless service from Sri Yukteswar. And this is one of the many things as we celebrate Sri Yukteswar's birthday, the birth of so many opportunities to grow in wisdom within our own self. And so every year, they had 4 times a year a solstice festival, and it was a beautiful festival. They had chanting, and Sri Yukteswar would give beautiful inspirational talks. They had picnics and all kinds of food, and all devotees from all around India would gather together, and it was such a time of satsang and beauty and connection. It was so, so beautiful. And so after this, it was a week of preparation before it, cleaning dishes and washing and cooking. All the monks helped. And Sri Yukteswar said, as a reward, you can sleep with me tonight, Yogananda. And he was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And so they were both exhausted, but they got into bed. And, to sleep next to a self-realized master, his guru, was like, he's like a father and a son. They're just so in a cosmic romance. And so he was so happy, but within 10 minutes, Sri Yukteswar shot right up and he said, we got to get up. We have some devotees. They missed their train. They're going to be here very shortly. We have to cook. Mukunda, stay in bed. You're tired. You've been working for a week. Mukunda got right up. And he started to help Sri Yukteswar. And, Sri Yukteswar said, I'll prepare the food for our guests, but Yogananda followed his guru, and tonight you have conquered, this is what Sri Yukteswar said to him, tonight you will have conquered fatigue and fear of hard work. You shall never be bothered by them again. He uttered these words of lifelong energy and blessing, said Yogananda, of tireless service in God. Just as that was said, there was a knock on the door. The devotees came in, and we were waiting for you. Sri Yukteswar's amazing wisdom and intuition knew the reality that was going to happen, and prepared him and gave Yogananda, through that beautiful test, the blessing of tireless service. Never was he exhausted when he had to work all day and night. He had all this endless supply, and we have that gift. This is the gift of right action that we all receive today on this beautiful Mother's Day. So we thank you, Divine Mother. May you bless us all with peaceful absorption under all circumstances. And as we bridge ego consciousness to self-realization, let's see ourselves joyfully, willingly serving and being with God hand in hand together through all activity. Om. Peace. Amen.
Thank you, Kelly G. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
So we'll have our offertory now. Please take what you'd like to give and place it in your right hand and repeat after me. Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
we offer to thee the fruit of our labors.
we offer to thee the fruit of our labors.
Bless this offering, that it serve as a channel of thy light to truth-seeking souls everywhere.
To truth-seeking souls everywhere.
Om, peace. Amen.
I didn't cry.
So Swami Kriyananda wrote this song based on the poem that Kelly wrote earlier, The Two Dark Eyes. I seek them.